Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Buddhanussati mettāca asubhaṃ maranassati iti imā caturā rakkha bhikkhu bhāveya sīlavā. Friends, today is the second day of our retreat. As it is the thematic retreat, you all know the theme for this retreat is Metta. In line with that, we all need to focus on this topic, on Metta. For this Dhamma talk, our topic is how to practice Metta effectively. Metta is a thought to be aroused and developed, cultivated by all of us. Metta is part and parcel of our practice, of course our life. As Bhante himself mentioned yesterday, each and everybody has this seed, Metta seed. Once we are born, we have Metta in us. But we have to develop this, cultivate this, so that it grows properly and it becomes a powerful tool. It becomes a powerful tool so that we can use it in our daily life. Metta is aroused, Metta is developed, practice for the purpose of eliminating our emotional and negative thoughts such as ill will, anger, hatred, jealousy and hostility. When practice this Metta, we can become more and more peaceful. That is why the Buddha recommended this to practice us as a part of our practice, as the beginning, the guardian meditation, or in order to develop our serenity. Metta is to be understood properly, clearly. Before we understand how to practice Metta effectively, we have to understand the importance of Metta. The Buddha very clearly said, Metta is the greatest meritorious deed. It's the greatest meritorious deed. We do many different types of merits, such as offering, such as dana, sila. We do many different types of puja, sometimes many different types of puja. In the traditional Buddhist countries, you can see many different types of puja. Of all these puja, of all these things, the Buddha said the greatest punya, greatest merit is practicing Metta. One day, the Buddha said, suppose there are two persons. One person is offering dana. He offers 100 big pots of rice for breakfast. 100 pots for breakfast. Then 100 pots for lunch. Then 100 pots for dinner. So 3,000 huge jars, huge pots of rice. 300 pots per day. There's another person, the second person. He is sitting there, practice metta only for a second, only during the time of snapping, like this. The Buddha said, I appreciate not the person who gives 300 pots of food every day, but the person who practices metta, loving friendliness. So, metta is such important. Another occasion, the Buddha, while traveling with the monks, he saw a sort of heap of ember, fire. Seeing this ember, the Buddha said, monks, can you eat this? Can you eat this fire, this ember? Can you eat? Then how can you eat? The monks were quite afraid, scared of even hearing this. And the Buddha said, like that, the food, drinks and everything given by people, if you eat without virtuous, you are eating not the food but that type of ember. So be careful. What is given by others, whatever given by others, when you consume, be careful, be virtuous and use it. That is, when the Buddha said this, some monks, they being afraid, they distrobed, and some monks, they committed suicide. Then after a while, the Buddha, after several days, weeks, the Buddha understood that monks, less monks. Then he asked, why, where are the other monks? Then Venerable Ananda said, some of them distraught, some of them committed suicide. After listening to that sutta, that discourse, Buddha gave a discourse, full discourse, that is called Aggi Kandopama Sutta, the heap of fire, heap of ember, the sutta. Then Buddha asked Venerable Ananda to summon all the monks, and he said, monks, if you practice metta during the time of this napping, during this time, achara sangata means snapping. If you practice metta during the time of snapping, that itself is good, and then you are worthy to receive, worthy to use whatever given by others. You can consume this without any harm. Then again the Buddha emphasized the importance of metta. Another sutta, in the numerical discourse, Buddha delivered a discourse named Velama Sutta, which is again very important discourse, where the Buddha said, monks, in the past there was a Brahmin named Velama. He gave many different things. Buddha mentioned he gave 84,000 golden balls filled with silver. 84,000 balls, like the monk's begging bowl. 84,000 filled with silver. And then 84,000 silver balls filled with gold. And he gave many types of things, many animals, even animals like elephants, very well decorated elephants, decorated with golden nets. And the horses, 80,000 horses, 80,000 elephants, like that. Many different things. Foods, nothing to say about foods, just like flowing of river. The Buddha said, that is how this Brahmin gave dana. You might think that he was another person. No, it was me. Buddha said, it was not the other person, but it was me who gave that dana in the past. But monks, there was no proper recipient for that dana. No recipient, proper recipient for that dana. to become more fruitful, more virtuous. No proper recipient. The dana, whatever dana given, the Buddha said, if you give a dana to a virtuous one, that is more fruitful. There the Buddha said, if you give the dana to a one Sritana, giving dana to a one Sritana is better than giving 100 stream enterers. Sotapanna. Giving dana to one Sakadagami. Sakadagami means one Sritana. One Sakadagami is better than giving 100 Sotapanna stream enterers. So if they have one Sotapanna, the dana would be more fruitful. In comparison to this, again the Buddha further said, if one can give a dana to a non-returner, one non-returner is better, more fruitful than giving dana to 100 once-returners. Giving dana to a one enlightened one, Arahant, is better, more fruitful than giving 100 non-returners. Giving dana to the Buddha, Pacceka Buddha, is better, more fruitful than giving dana to 100 Arahants. In this manner, finally the Buddha said, if you practice Metta during the time of the pulling the udder of the cow to milk the cow, just during that time when you pull the udder of the cow, even during that time, if you can meditate Metta, that will be more fruitful, more important, more successful than offering such things. So the Buddha, in such a way, Buddha emphasized the need of practicing and the importance of practicing this Metta. Friends, there is a sutta named Ma Punya Bhai. Punya means meritorious deed. We want to do more and more meritorious deed because we are sansaric beings. In sansara, in our sansaric journey, we need merit. It is because of a meritorious deed done in the past, we were born here as humans. Just think of animal beings. Why we were born as humans? Those who have developed mind, means developed mind. Why we were born in this manner? Why we got a good mother, good father, good husband, good wife, good children, like that. Think of the positive side of this life. Why we got this? That is how we defined it. We defined it. It is because of our karma, good karma done in the past. So the Buddha delivered this particular discourse and said, Ma Punya Bhai, monks, do not be afraid of doing good deeds. Do not be afraid. People are quite afraid sometimes to do even good deeds. So, Ma Punya Bhai Sutta, the Buddha said, you to do three good deeds, three types of good deeds. What are the three? Danancha samacharyacha metta chittancha bhavaye. Danancha, practice dana, generosity. Practice generosity. That is the first thing to do. Generosity is necessary. Dana is the first thing. Dana, sila, bhavana. Three things to be practiced by all Buddhists. So dana is the first thing here. Danancha. Then samacharya. What is samacharya? Samacharya means good conduct. Good conduct. There are right conducts and wrong conduct. Samacharya means good conduct, right conduct. Right conduct here means the 10 wholesome actions. Refraining from killing, refraining from stealing, refraining from sexual misconduct, refraining from false speech, refraining from malicious talk, refraining from harsh speech, refraining from frivolous talk, refraining from covetousness, then refraining from grief, and refraining from wrong view. These are reprehension. When you refrain from this, you are doing good deeds. So those are called samacharya. Samacharya means good conduct. And then the Buddha said, practice metta. Practice metta as a part of our practice. So what is metta? What is the purpose of metta? Let's understand a little bit of what is metta and why we practice metta. Metta is we use the term loving friendliness. As I said yesterday, we here at Bhavana we use the term loving friendliness, not loving kindness. Metta is the immeasurable love. It is immeasurable love. When we extend metta, no measure. We have no bounds. It is boundless love. It is limitless love. It is the love that we extend to all beings, irrespective of their size, irrespective of their color, their differences, no differences at all. We have to spread metta, suffuse metta to all beings in all directions. All directions. The Buddha taught us to practice metta to the 6 directions. 6 different directions. That is what we practiced yesterday. Extending metta to all beings in the front direction, back direction, right directions, left direction, upper direction and lower direction. That's how we practice. So metta is the love, it is the universal love. That is how we can say. Love is threefold. There are 3 types of love. Carnal love, filial love and universal love. Carnal love is sexual, sensual love. Filial love is family love. In family we love each other, parents, children, like that. And the universal love is boundless, that is limitless, immeasurable love. Those are the 3 types of love. At the same time, we need to understand there are another 2 terms which quite closer to metta. Metta, karuna and pema. 3 terms. Metta, karuna and pema. Metta is love and friendliness. That is love and friendliness. Karuna means not metta. This is quite confused. Some people have confused these 2. Metta and compassion. Love and kindness, love and friendliness, love and friendliness and love and kindness. Kindness means compassion. Then pema. Pema is mostly used in Hinduism. It is all right, we can use, but prema is not what the Buddha meant by metta. Pema, Buddha said, pemato jayati soko, pemato jayati bhayam, pemato vippamutas natti soko kuto bhayam. Pemato jayati soko, if you have pema, that sort of love which is emotional love, that is family love or carnal love. If you have that sort of love, pemato jayati soko, from Pema, sorrow springs. Sorrow springs because of pema, because of that particular love. Premato jayati soko. It is a cause for sorrow. Pemato jayati bhayang. It is because of pema that bhaya, the fear arises. Pemato vippamuttasa. He who has no pema, no that particular love, has no sorrow, no fear. That is what the Buddha said. So, friends, we have to understand these differences as well. Similarities are to be understood as similarities. Differences are to be understood as differences. So, why should we practice metta? Metta, the purpose of practicing metta is calming down, serenity, concentration. Basically, we practice metta in order to develop our serenity, develop our concentration. So, without metta, without practicing metta, of course, we have some other objects as well, though metta is quite easier to practice. Quickly we can come to the state of calmness if we practice metta. This is why we have to practice metta as a part of our practice. When we practice metta, we extend love to all beings in the world. Beings, the Pali term for beings is satta. Satta means clinging. All beings are clinging. Clinging to where? Not outside. Clinging to ourselves. That is why we are called beings. Satta. We cling to ourselves. Ourselves means these 5 aggregates. We all are clinging to these 5 aggregates. What are the 5 aggregates? Form, feelings, perception, volitional formation and consciousness. We cling to these 5 aggregates. That is why we are called beings. Then what about Arahants and Buddhas? Are they beings? No, they are not beings. Arahants are not beings. Enlightened ones are not beings. Why? They are not clinging to these 5 aggregates. They simply have these 5 aggregates but not clinging. In our case, the difference is we are clinging to these 5 aggregates. So, whatever beings living in all worlds, you know the world according to Buddhism, Buddhist cosmology, there are 31 realms. In all these 31 realms, there are beings. There are thousands world systems. 1,000 world system, twice 1,000 world system, and thrice 1,000 world system. That is how the Buddha talked about the world. In this world, in this whole universe, there are many types of beings. Wherever beings, there is dukkha. All these beings have one characteristic, that is, they all die. Because they were born. Once they were born, they all die. All these beings are categorized into different groups. Buddha has categorized these different beings. Buddha said, beings are born according to their birth. Buddha categorized. There are at least 3 different categories. Let me to explain a little bit about this also, because we should know what these beings are, so that we can extend our metta to all these beings without any discrimination. The first category is according to their birth. The Buddha said, there are beings, they are born in eggs, egg-born beings. Andaja. Beings are born in eggs. So eggs means the place where beings are born. If you destroy, that is quite unwholesome. So eggs, Andaja. Then the second one is Jalabhuja. Jalabhuja means beings are born in the mother's womb. That is the second types. Jalabhuja. Then Sansedaja, the third is beings are born in moisture. Different beings like flies, mosquitoes, in moisture they are born. And then there are beings, they are born spontaneously. So some people don't believe this. You know, what is more in the world are beyond our senses. These 6 senses, our senses are limited. We can understand only limited things. We cannot understand more things. We know only little. But more are beyond our knowledge, beyond our wisdom. So, these are the 4 categories. Andaja, Jalabhuja, Sansedaja, Ovapatika. Buddha categorized these beings according to their birth. And then the Buddha categorized again, Buddha said, according to their features, characteristics. Buddha categorized again in a particular discourse. There's a discourse, very early days, Buddha delivered a discourse named Khanda Sutta. Khanda means aggregate. Once a certain monk was bitten by a snake and he died. Then the monks went to the Buddha and reported. The Buddha said, monks, if this monks had been practicing metta towards different beings, he would have not died in this manner, bitten by a snake. The Buddha pointed out there are 4 types of snakes. For those, the Buddha recommended to practice metta. Where the Buddha said, apadaka, there are some beings, those who have no foot, footless beings. That is according to their characteristic. Footless beings, like snakes. Apadaka. Second type is dipadaka, those who have 2 feet. Beings, those who have 2 feet. Then Chatupada, Apadaka, Dipadaka, Chatupada. Chatupada means 4. 4 feet. Means those who have 4 feet. And then Bahupada, those who have many feet, like centipede, millipede, multipede beings. So those are another category for which all beings are included. All beings can be included to these categories. The famous sutta, Karaniya Metta Sutta. In the Karaniya Metta Sutta, Buddha categorized all beings. Mainly, first and foremost, Buddha categorized all beings into 2 groups. The first group is Tasa. The second is Thavara. Tasava, Thavarava. Tasa, Thavara. 2 groups. Of the 2, Thavara means those who are fixed, those who are immovable. There are beings immovable. They can't move. Just like huge mountain. It's a being. Cannot move. It's a being. Like a hungry ghost. There are hungry ghosts, such ghosts, they cannot move. They are like you see like a mountain there. But it's a being. Like that. In the ocean, there are such beings. They are called immovable beings. Thavara beings. And then Tasa being. Tasa means moving beings. This Tasa type, moving beings are again categorized into 12 groups, 12 types. Buddha said, lone, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth. Those are the 12 types. Tasa digava ye mahantava majjima rasa anuka tula dittava ye vadditta ye chadure vasanti avidure bhutava sambhavesiva. In such a way, the Buddha categorized this. All these categories were given to practice metta, not to eat. Not to eat. Like some other sources, you find how beings were categorized to eat. You see some, like in the Bible, of course. You see in the Bible, it is very clear the God categorized the beings, and particular beings, you can eat them. But according to Buddhism, beings cannot be killed. Even an ant, if you kill with an intentional killing is wrong. So it is karma, it is bad karma if you kill. So for Buddhists, we cannot kill any being. So instead we have to practice metta. We have to practice metta to all beings. When you practice metta, the Buddha's instruction is not only metta. Metta, karuna, mudita, upeka, 4 things. What are these 4? These are called 4 sublime abodes, Brahma Vihara. If you practice this 4, you are living as a divine, divinely dwelling here. If you practice these 4, these are called 4 Brahma Vihara. When you practice this, these are so powerful. Metta itself is so powerful. Perhaps you don't believe power of metta. Believe or not, I'll tell you some stories. I'll start with myself. How I practice and how I use it. Metta. The last 2 months I was in Sri Lanka. I went there March 1st. And from March 20 to April 10, I was in a forest monastery. While I was there, I got a message from my sister living in Italy. She said, Bhante, my close friend, her child, a girl, only 6 month girl, now she is in the hospital. She is critical, Bhante. Please do something, she said. Then I did not know the person. I have never seen them. I have never seen the parents or this infant. I have never seen them. I did not know their name also. From where is not even I don't know from where they are. However, I asked her to send me a picture of the little one. Then she sent me the picture. I started to practice metta. I extend metta. Wholeheartedly I practice metta. And what happens? Next day, my sister said, little one, she opened her eyes and started to suck the milk. She started to milk. So my mother fed her. And then the following day, again continued practice. And then the following day, I heard that the child was discharged and went home. That is my experience. When my own mother was sick, she had a problem with eyes, cataract, about 10 years ago. She had cataract and she was hospitalized to do the surgery. After that only I was informed. Then I got 2 lights to my hands, 2 candles. And with these 2 lights I determined, may my mother's eyes be bright, may she be cured. Like that I thought, and with that determination I practiced. Then the following day she was discharged. She did not want to get that done. And it was after about 8 years she had to do it again. So like that we can use metta. And there are many different stories like this. Once Anagarika Dharmapala, he was a Sri Lankan person, Sri Lankan sort of hero. While he was in India, the British rulers asked the superintendent of police to send him back to Sri Lanka because there was a conflict between Sinhalese and Muslims. By that time he was asked to send to Sri Lanka, expel him to Sri Lanka. Because of this sort of conflict, he understood that if he is going to go to Sri Lanka, he will be shot and killed. Thereafter, what he did, he got a picture of this superintendent of police, and he started to practice metta. He did throughout the night. He did, and the following day morning, the superintendent of police came and said that he feels like this Anagarika Dharmapala, this man is like his own father, so he can't take him into custody. Therefore, he was not taken into custody, and he took him to his home and he kept him in his home. Like that. The Buddha himself did metta. This power of metta. These are what you call power of metta. Power, can you see power? That is energy. You cannot see energy, but it is there. Power means energy. There is energy to do something. You can do something with that energy. Mental power. Mentally you can do many things, but you cannot see these things. So whether we believe or not, there is power, there is energy. There is many different types of energy. Everything is energy, of course. Everything is energy. So Buddha himself did. Once there was a tusker. He was given 60 pots of intoxicant. He himself was furious, but he was instead, moreover, he was given 60 pots, big pots of intoxicant. So this intoxicated elephant, Nalagiri, called Nalagiri, came towards the Buddha to attack the Buddha, to kill the Buddha. Then what the Buddha did? Metta. He concentrated with metta. Through metta, the Buddha addressed this Nalagiri. Buddha said, Nalagiri, can't you remember the piece of sugar cane that I gave you in your previous lives when you were an ant? Buddha reminded him a previous life, story of a previous life, how the Buddha gave him a piece of sugar cane when he was an ant. He was an ant. Like that, Buddha used his metta, full of metta. to this elephant and talk. So that is how we have to understand the importance of metta. So friends, in order to develop this, in order to practice metta effectively, what should we do? How should we do? Metta, in order to practice, develop metta, we have to practice properly. We have to calm down ourselves. Calm down ourselves. We have to observe ourselves. And we have to generate metta. First of all, we have to generate metta. We can generate. When we generate metta, we have to observe this body from top to bottom, and we can use the word, may I be well and happy. May I be well and happy. You observe the whole body. Piece by piece, pace by pace, you can observe from top to bottom. And then from bottom to top. Practice. When you practice this metta, you can generate, you can feel that you have metta. Then you can feel that energy. It's like light, like radiance, which can be extended to all beings. Buddha recommended 2 different methods to extend metta. When we practice metta, Buddha recommended, as I said earlier, the 6 directions. This method is called immeasurable method. Immeasurable, no measuring. Immeasurably, we extend metta to all beings in our front direction, in your front direction. Extend metta. And then the back, you can either start with then back or right side. From your right, it's all right, whichever. Like first front direction, then you can either do your back direction or right direction, like this, right direction. Then back, left, up and down. The Buddha said, when you extend metta to 1/4 of the world, 1/4. That is like this, 1/4. Likewise the second, the Buddha said, likewise the second, likewise the third, likewise the fourth, above, below. Ekang disang paritva virati. Ekang disang paritva. Spreading metta to all beings in one direction. Where you have to understand, you have to feel it. Feel this energy. You can feel this. Once you practice, develop metta, you yourself can feel that you have metta. You have to have something to give. That is why you have to generate metta within you. Generate and then extend metta like a light all over this area. And then the next, like that. That is called immeasurable metta. Appamana cheto vimukti. Appamana. Then the second method is called exalted method. Exalted is like this. It is starting from yourself. You have to start, you have to arouse, generate metta within, and then slowly, systematically, gradually, you have to extend metta to all beings in the world, in the whole universe, starting from you. Then we say, may I be well, happy and peaceful. Then in the whole, may all beings in this whole be well, happy and peaceful. All beings in this bhavana be well, happy and peaceful. All beings in this state, all beings in this country, all beings in this world, all beings in the universe be well, happy and peaceful. Like that we extend metta. This is how we have to practice. When we practice in this manner, metta becomes our tool. Metta becomes our tool. It is always with us. Metta is always with us. Buddha said, Mettaya bhikkhave cheto vimuttiya asevitaya. When you develop, when you practice, when you associate this, asevitaya. Bhavitaya, when you do it again and again, bhavitaya, bahulikataya. When you do again and again, practice again and again, it becomes like jnana, jnanikataya. Jnana is vehicle. It's like your own vehicle, like your car. It is with you. Wherever you go, you have to use your car. Wherever you go, you have to go with metta. Jnanikataya, vattukataya. It is the tool. It's like you have a tool with you, like the carpenters. They have their own tools. Wherever they go, they have even little one. Like the person, some people, wherever they go, they use tools. Like that. Vattukataya, anuttitaya, it stays with you. All the time it stays with you. Parichitaya, it is around you. Anuttitaya, parichitaya, susamaradhaya, you have started it properly, well done, well started. It gives you 11 benefits. The Buddha said, if you practice, develop metta effectively in this manner, it gives you 11 benefits. What are the 11 benefits? Buddha said, Sukhang Sukpati, you can sleep well. Sleep well. It has the power to put you to sleep properly, nicely. That is the power of metta. Sukhang Supati. Then Sukhang Patibujjati. It helps you to wake up at the right time, proper time, easily. Without any problem, you can wake up. That is a second benefit. Sukhang Patibujjati. Na papakang supinam passati. Then, while you are sleeping, no nightmares. Na papakang supinam passati. Then manussanam piyo hoti. You become a pleasant person to humans. To others, you become a pleasant one. Amanussanam piyo hoti. Amanussa, no manussa, non-humans. Non-humans, not only humans, non-humans are also happy. They themselves become happy, pleasant. You become a pleasant person to non-humans as well. Like hungry ghosts, they never hurt you. Ammanussanam piyo hoti. Then Devata Rakkanti, the deities, they protect you. Why? You extend metta. When you extend metta, they enjoy this metta. Then they protect you. Devata Rakkanti. And then Nasa Aggiva Visangva Sattangva Kamati. He is not hurt by fire, poison, or weapons. Why? Because as he is practicing metta, nobody is going to hurt him. Metta. He has metta. Nasa aggiva visangva sattangva kamati. Then tuvatang chittang samadhyati. Quickly you can come to the state of calmness, serenity, concentration. Your mind becomes concentrated quickly. Tuvatang chittang samadhi. Mukhavanno vipasijati. Your face becomes a pleasant face. Asam mulho kalang karoti. Next, you can die without confusion. No confusion. With a clear mind, you close your eyes. Uttaring appati vijjantu brahmalokupago hoti. If you are not going to enter the path or attain enlightenment here in this world, you will be born in the Brahma world. Those are the benefits. Those are the 11 benefits of practicing metta. Metta is to be practiced to apply it in daily life. We have to apply metta in daily life. When we practice metta in daily life, the Buddha said, Mettena kaya kammena, Mettena vachi kammena, Mettena mano kammena. You know, we have 3 modes of actions, 3 types of actions. Bodily actions, verbal actions and mental actions. All these actions, all our bodily actions are to be done with metta. That is the instructions given by the Buddha. All our bodily actions done should be blended with metta. All our verbal actions, whatever we talk, we have to apply metta. Then whatever we think of, we have to apply metta. That is the application in daily life. Metta, if we have metta, we can easily develop our sila, which is important, which is the foundation of our practice. Sila. That is why you all observe 8 precepts at the very beginning of this retreat. Sila, important. During the retreat, during the full moon or half moon, like new moon, you have to observe 8 precepts. But in daily life, as daily precepts for lay persons, 5 precepts. If you have metta, love and friendliness, then it is quite easy to practice your 5 precepts. If you have metta, how can you kill? How can you kill if you have metta? How can you kill? Nobody kill. Nobody want to kill them. When you practice, you yourself can understand these things. So you refrain from killing. Not only reprehension, you neither kill nor get another person to kill, or you appreciate killing. You never appreciate killing. Then stealing. How can you steal? How can you steal if you have metta? Really, if you have metta, how can you steal from others? Instead, you protect others' property, others' things, with metta thoughts. And sexual misconduct. If you have if you have metta, you never sexually misconduct. Because you understand, because you think of the families, you think of mother, you want to protect the mother, protect the daughters, like that. Because of metta, you don't do such thing. Refrain from sexual misconduct. If you have metta, you never tell lies. If you have metta, you never take intoxicant. You have to have metta towards you first. If you have metta towards you, you think of this. And at the same time, you think of other beings as well. In such a way, we can develop metta. We can extend metta to all beings and live happily, peacefully. That is the purpose, of course. To live happily, peacefully, we have to practice metta. We practice metta towards ourselves and then towards all beings in the world. irrespective of their differences. So when we practice metta in this manner, the Buddha said, this is the Brahma Vihara, divinely dwelling here. Practice metta above, below, all around. And keep this metta consciousness, which is blended with mindfulness. The Buddha said, etang sating aditteya. Sati means mindfulness. Now you see, we start to practice metta. We start our meditation with metta. And metta is eventually blended with mindfulness. Then what happens? Mindfulness leads to clear comprehension, and mindfulness, clear comprehension and wisdom come together. Insight, through which you can see through, you can cut off, you can penetrate. Then you can see things as they really are. If you see as they really are, you see three characteristics of existence: anicca, dukkha, anatta. Impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and soullessness. You see this. If you see this, the Buddha said in the Karaniya Metta Sutta, towards the end of the sutta, Buddha said, Dittincha anupagam silava dassanena sampannu. What is dassana? Then as the result of practicing metta in this manner, you switch to insight and you can become a dassana sampanna, the person with a view. What is that view? It is the view of the stream enterer. You become a stream enterer. Dassanena sampannu. You can become a stream enterer. When you become a stream enterer, you see the three characteristics of existence. You realize the four noble truths. You realize the dependent origination. With this, you become a stream enterer. Once you become a stream enterer, you become a once-returner, then the non-returner, then finally you become an enlightened person. Arahant. Where the Buddha said in the Karaniya Metta Sutta, towards the end, Nahi jatu gabba seyyang punareti. Nahi jatu gabba seyyang. You never come back to the mother's womb to sleep. Means you never want to come back to be born. Nahi jatu gabba seyyang punareti. You never come. Means the person who attains full enlightenment will not be born again. So this is very clear. The path is clear. Buddha taught this Dhamma, taught us to practice metta as a part of our practice. When we practice metta, we can develop, cultivate our serenity, concentration, meditation, and when we have good concentration, we can switch to insight, through which we can understand real nature of the life and the whole world, and finally we can attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. So let's all understand this wonderful teaching of the Buddha. Let's all practice properly, effectively, successfully, so that we can switch this to insight and realize real peace, real happiness of Nibbana. May we all attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu.